Number 44, playing at third base, Carly Smith. Batting second, number 18 and catching, Barkley McMillan. Batting third, number 25, playing shortstop, McKenna Channel. Batting fourth, number 11, in center field, Kaylin Ballas. Batting fifth, number 15, and pitching, Samantha Thompson. Batting sixth, number 24, at second base, Jaden Ballas. Batting seventh, number 34, and first base, Ella Manning. Batting eighth, number 14, in left field, Allie Borbin. And batting ninth, number 13, in right field, Colby Strode. The reserves for Beloit, number 5, Brandy Porter, 21, Addison Thompson, 22, Jaylee Forrest, number 8, Emerson Fuller, number 6, Addie Francis. The assistant coaches for Beloit,
Are you ready to make a meaningful impact? Join the professional healthcare team at Salina Regional Health Center. They're seeking nurse assistants who are eager to provide exceptional care to our community. Their growing organization offers competitive pay, comprehensive benefits, and tuition reimbursement. If you're ready to join a team that values compassion, teamwork, and outstanding patient care, apply now at srhc.com or reach out to Human Resources. Great careers start here. Salina Regional Health Center. They take care of you so you can care for others.
This is Regional Playoff Softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Welcome into the fairgrounds here in Minneapolis. Devin Haney along with Kevin Lilly, Travis Godfrey providing live stream video today of a regional championship game between two NCAA schools as Minneapolis is set to host the Beloit Trojans. Beloit comes in 19-8. Minneapolis comes in 20-4. They are both looking to win this game and get to the state tournament. If Beloit should do so, well, Beloit's had some history at the state tournament here recently. Their last trip just back a couple of years ago in 2023. They lost to Santa Fe Trail 5-0 in the first round of the state tournament. That was at Twin Oaks in Manhattan. Minneapolis, though, they only have one state appearance in softball in school history. That came back in 2014. Minneapolis was able to get by Plainville Stockton and then also by Smoky Valley in the semifinal, 13-3. Beloit's here because they beat Nickerson in the first round, had to come from behind and a walk-off home run to win that game in the 7th inning. 7-6, Beloit got that one in the first round. Then second round, they were able to beat Lions in more convincing fashion, 15-0. Just about ready to go here, and Kev, we go from about 10-15 minutes of sprinkles and cloudy weather. Now the sunglasses are on, the sun's shining, and we're ready for regional championship softball.
Yeah, it's just going to be a great afternoon for softball for both clubs, and it should be a great game.
Brady Weatherman will take the bump here for Minneapolis as she starts out. Weatherman, really big improvement off of what was a good junior year last year. Here now as a senior, she improved her ERA from a year ago to 3.06 to now here in her senior season, pitching at a 1.92 ERA. Doesn't quite have the strikeouts that she had last year, 129 strikeouts a year ago, but she's at 111, not too far behind. Her batting average, though, and her production at the plate has been much, much better this year for second-year head coach Brian Weatherman here for the Minneapolis Lions. As we said, they have not been to state since 2014. That was the only appearance in school history for this Minneapolis squad, who's decked out today in red, white, and blue. They got the red pants on and the white and blue tops, and they will play a Beloit team that is decked out in their traditional black and orange. Would you expect anything else, right? So Beloit and Minneapolis, a couple of schools from the North Central Activities Association. There's also another school still alive in the NCAA, and that was your champions from this year, Tyler Smith and the Southeast Upsilon Lady Trojans. They are scheduled to play tomorrow against Silver Lake in Osage City. We'll have that game for you right here on Salina Post Sports Network. Coming up here for Beloit to lead the game off will be Carlene Smith. Smith, a junior. She leads the team in stolen bases. She's batting .433 on the year with 5 home runs. It will be Carlene Smith and Brady Weatherman to start things off, and we're underway. First pitch to the plate, and it will be in there low and we'll start out with a 1-0 count. Weatherman checks the signals on her wrist coach, fires in there once again. This time for a strike. She'll even the count at 1-1.
And it's always interesting to see early on how they're going to play everything. Are they going to take some pitches? Are they going to lay down some bunts, make the defense work? So it'll be interesting here in the first couple innings of how aggressive everybody's going to be.
Yeah, and these two teams not strangers to each other. As we said, both from the NCAA. Smith is going to hit a blooper out to right field. It'll be brought in there, but Smith already on first, and that continues to just be a problem here for teams that Carleen Smith goes against, because she is on now, and she is leading this team from Beloit in stolen bases.
And, you know, the thing is, we were kind of talking about softball earlier. I've been watching a lot of softball and kind of filling in, you know, my knowledge of it. And it's, you know, situations like this that always call for a bunt or some sort of a slap or something like that to advance that runner.
Barkley McMillan, the catcher for Beloit, is on. She's going to take first pitch. Smith will be in to second with a stolen base. So already she advances herself to the second base bag and in scoring position here as we are just underway with Minneapolis and Beloit.
And right there, you've seen the batter, you know, square around a bunt, and it kind of messed with the catcher's vision just a little bit and go on a pass ball.
Weatherman has the bunt laid down. She comes charging in on it. She'll throw over to first, and Barkley McMillan has a sacrifice bunt that will advance Smith over to first. So already a runner on third here with one out, and to the plate for Beloit will bring McKenna Channel. Channel, one of the threats with a bat here for this Beloit lineup. She is batting .562 on the season. She leads the team in hits with 45 hits on the year. Also leads the team in doubles with a baker's dozen full of doubles this year. Pitch high by Weatherman. That'll put the count at 1-0 as McKenna Channel jumps out in front of the count.
And, you know, both clubs play each other throughout the year, so they're very familiar with each other as well.
If you're curious, that doubleheader in Beloit was swept by Minneapolis in a couple of games that are drastically different from each other as Weatherman misses on the outside. Those two games, by the way, 7-3 and 26-20 as Minneapolis went 2-0 in Beloit earlier this season.
Like a football score.
Yeah. There's a swing and a miss by Channel as Weatherman sneaks one past her. That'll put the count now at 2-1. 1 on, 1 out, runner on third. As we're working our way through the top of the first inning here. Glad you could join us from the Ottawa County Fairgrounds here in Minneapolis. Weatherman with a 2-1 pitch. It's going to be a slow roller over to second. Pick it up, they'll fire, and that sacrifice hit will get a run in as Carleen Smith comes in on a run scored and puts Beloit up 1-0.
And right there, that's really just a good piece of hitting. Just put the ball in play. The one thing you can't afford is, you know, a lazy fly-up or a strikeout. Put the ball in play, and that's what she did there.
Kaylin Follis, the center fielder, up. She will take a hack at the first pitch, foul it straight back over the backstop, and fall behind in the count, 0-1. No runners on, empty bases here after Beloit gets their leadoff runner in. They've taken a 1-0 lead with 2 outs here, and another foul straight back here for Beloit. Kaylin Follis' fall behind in the count here, 0-2 with 2 outs. Follis steps in, behind in the count. Weatherman on the delivery, and she'll blaze it right by her. Weatherman on the big strikeout gets Minneapolis out of the inning, but Beloit gets a run. The Lady Trojans out in front here, 1-0. As we go to the bottom of the first, it is Minneapolis and Beloit softball, and it is brought to you by C&R Plating in Minneapolis.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Regional Playoff Softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Welcome back here to Minneapolis. Devin Haney, Kevin Lilly, also Travis Godfrey operating the camera, providing live stream video here of our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. We've had a bunch of them this week. It's been a busy, busy week. Sacred Heart Baseball also playing right now on the network as well with Tyler Henry. Samantha Thompson here on the bump to lead things off for Beloit. Her first pitch is in low to Barkley McMillan, who is catching here for Beloit. That's your battery to start out with as Minneapolis sends Sydney Parks to the plate to lead off here for the Lions in their half of the first. 1-0 Beloit. Parks looks at 2 pitches now going by. She's up in the count, 2-0. Thompson on the year, 38 innings pitched, 38 strikeouts against 33 walks. She has a 3.80 ERA. 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Count is even now at 2-2.
And one of the fun things about games like this, Devin, you're seeing the best of the best, right? This is for everything to go to state, so leave no stones unturned, throw the best.
Here's another pitch, and it's going to be on the outside corner. No surprise there. Sydney Parks has a keen eye, the best in the lineup for Minneapolis. She leads the team with 30 walks on the season at the plate. Here's the full count pitch. Low at the shins, and it will put the leadoff runner on for Minneapolis. Sydney Parks will take first as she walks. That'll bring up Brady Weatherman. Weatherman, we talked about her pitching this year, though, at the plate. She's batting .603. She leads the team in batting average. She's also doubled her double output from a year ago. She went from 7 as a junior to 13 now here in her senior season. First pitch to Weatherman. She shakes it off, but it's a strike down low at the knees. Also, Weatherman last year, 19 RBI. This year, she has 31 already, with obviously still some action here left to go. 0-1 pitch, outside. Weatherman will even the count, letting that one go by at 1-1.
And you got to think it's just a matter of time before they send Parks and test the catcher for Beloit.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's high. Weatherman, little twitch at the bat, but she does not swing, and that'll put the count at 2-1. Runner on first, nobody out. It's the leadoff runner over there. Sydney Parks for Minneapolis. Weatherman watches the ball in the dirt and now jumps ahead, dominating the count at 3-1. See what Parks has on her mind. Brian Weatherman standing on third as the third base coach. And that ball comes in low. Similar location to the last pitch, but that one called a strike, and it's going to make the count full, 3-2.
And it just goes to show you how much they trust Weatherman on not laying down a bunt.
Swing and a miss. Weatherman chased a high pitch that time. And then Parks speeds and takes second. So a stolen base for Sydney Parks after Brady Weatherman goes down. And that'll bring up Keegan Hardesty. Hardesty, a freshman, batting .500 on the year. She leads the team in singles with 27 singles on the season. First pitch in there for a strike. Runner on, it's the leadoff runner. It's Sydney Parks, 1 out. Beloit with a 1-0 lead. Thompson, high and outside. That's been the popular location where her pitches have came in so far in this game. Beloit really a 3-pitcher team. Minneapolis more of a 2-pitcher team. High pitch here.
But you could see the difference early on for what Minneapolis is doing versus what Beloit's doing. Minneapolis is going to allow their power hitters to hit. They're not going to lay down bunts. They're not going to, get outs. They're going to be aggressive and allow their big bats to swing.
2-1 pitch, hacked on that time, and fouled back by Hardesty. And that'll even the count at 2-2. Also, too, just kind of seeing some comments from first-year head coach Darby Sweat for Beloit. Olivia Wright may be their best pitcher, but she's also maybe their best infielder, too. They played her at infield. They played her at outfield. It was a ground ball that will be swallowed up by the shortstop. Parks now will go from second to third on a leisurely trot, and the runner out is a sacrifice liner to shortstop will advance Sydney Parks over to third. That will bring up now the cleanup hitter, sophomore Bailey Randall-Hurt, batting .377 on the season. First pitch low, it's a ball. So Bailey Randall-Hurt jumps ahead in the lineup 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs, a runner on third here for Minneapolis.
And I really think that one of the big parts of this game is 2-out hitting. You got to be able to hit the ball with 2 outs and get on base.
Ground ball to short, long throw across the diamond, and they're going to call her out at first. So Beloit's defense stands tall as they protect their 1-run lead. That will take us now to the second inning with Beloit leading Minneapolis here at Ottawa County Fairgrounds. It's brought to you by C&R Plating here on SalinaPost.com.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of 2 types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialists will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
From raw honey to wax melts to beekeeping tools, boxes, and frames, AJ Honey Farms has it all and more. Be sure to check out their salves. Salves is a powerful blend of nature's best ingredients. Beeswax, crafted with care to soothe and nourish your dry skin, minor cuts, and burns. And for dry lips, try out their Happy Bee Balm. Treat yourself to their locally produced honey items or get a beautifully packaged gift set for a loved one. Stop in to see AJ Honey Farms at 901 North 9th Street. More than just a honey store.
This is regional playoff softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Weatherman back in the circle here for Minneapolis as we start the top of the second. Beloit leads at 1-0, and a foul ball down the first base line over Beloit's dugout will get Weatherman ahead in the count here against Samantha Thompson. No balls, 1 strike. Again, signs coming in from the Minneapolis dugout. Weatherman checking her wrist, coach. Rears back in the circle. She'll fire again. This one, a ball. Evened up now at 1-1. Here's a final from Hayes. Ellis today beats Sacred Heart in baseball 4-3 as the Knights are eliminated. Ball on the outside. Weatherman missed that corner. Now 2-1. There's a swing and a miss. And that'll even the count at 2-2 as the 2 pitchers go at it here. Weatherman in the circle. Thompson up to bat.
That was a nasty curveball there. I mean, right where I'm sitting, it just fell right off the plate.
This one pops straight up. It's going to be in a silo in the infield. Bailey Randall Hurt calling everybody off, and she will claim it for the first out of the inning as Minneapolis able to do something for the first time in this game. Of course, we still are early, but that set the leadoff hitter down for either team. To the plate now for Beloit. That will bring up Jaden Follis. Follis, the second baseman, watches a pitch in low, but it's called a strike as Weatherman jumps ahead in the count. Follis 4 home runs on the year, the senior batting .265. Watches a pitch down in the dirt, that's leaving the count at 1-1.
And even for Beloit, they're seeing a lot of pitches. I mean, it's, you know, the counts are getting ran up a little bit, and they're seeing, 3 to 5 pitches in a bat.
Another pitch fired in there by Weatherman and a strike call. 1-2 now, the count, as Weatherman continues to deal to Jaden Follis. Cloud cover once again, the sun has gone away here. This one outside, Weatherman. Now goes to 2-2 with Follis. Jaden, the 6-hole hitter here for Beloit. This one going to be swung on and then off the helmet into foul territory. Count will stay at 2-2 with 1 out. That'll wake you up quickly.
Yeah.
Two and 2 the count. Bases are empty, 1 out. Weatherman fires in there and gets another strikeout. So Brady Weatherman notches another strikeout here.
Next up to Beloit, number 34.
Now she sets down Jaden Follis. So far the second strikeout of the game for senior Brady Weatherman. That'll bring in Ella Manning, a senior. .337 on the year, her batting average. First baseman for Beloit fouls this one off. 0-1 the count. Weatherman kind of one of those pitchers. I think we saw one yesterday, too, in Chapman with Matty Harold, who their first inning, it's kind of let me see what I have today, let me see what I can trust, let me see where I can go. And then after that, if you don't get to them early, boy, you may be in for a long day.
Yeah. And, you know, right there, you know, she kind of has the whole arsenal of pitches to go to as well.
Up 0-2 in the count, but it's going to be a ground ball here by Manning. She's going to hit a slow roller that will go all the way to right center field, and scooped up there as Ella Manning gets on with a single. And that'll bring up Allie Bourbon, the left fielder.
Manning, next up,
Bourbon
14,
on the year,
Allie Bourbon.
the junior batting 161. 2 outs, 1 on. So we're in the top of the second. Swing and a miss. Weatherman leaps ahead in the count again. Weatherman with an 0-1 pitch. This one, no swing, but it falls right in the target. She jumps ahead again, 0-2. Lost the last hitter up 0-2 with a single to Manning. Let's see what she can do here with Allie Bourbon, the left fielder. Bourbon in there on the right-hand side, waiting on Weatherman, who takes her time. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swings it right by her as she is able to get her out, struck out looking. So the third strikeout for Weatherman. That's the first one looking, and that'll take us to the bottom of the second inning. 1-0, Beloit leading. Minneapolis coming up next here on Salina Post Sports.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of 2 types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialists will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
This is regional playoff softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Back here in Minneapolis, regional softball between Beloit and Minneapolis, brought to you by C&R Plating. Here in Minneapolis, Metal Finishing Solutions. They have 30 years in business here in Minneapolis, also zinc plating and cleaning. C&R Plating. If you're interested in that type of business, want to start your new career, they are hiring. Get on C&R Plating's website, fill out a contact form, see if that may be in your future at C&R Plating here in Minneapolis. 1-1 the count. Samantha Thompson starts out her portion on the mound here in the bottom of the second. She has a 1-0 lead. As she is pitching right now with a 2-1 count to Minneapolis freshman Sierra Cosart. Cosart with a hit. That will go into center field, and it's going to roll all the way to the fence. Cosart rounds first, and she's going to be into second, standing up with a double.
And that was just a good piece of hitting. Sitting back, driving a fastball, and the ball gets by the center fielder and just takes another base there.
Minneapolis looking to even things up here. Ashlyn Alderson coming up to bat. Alderson, a junior, batting .371 on the season, takes a hack at the first pitch, and it's a strike. Alderson, it's kind of a nice little stat for her. She's not afraid to step into one. She is leading the team in hit by pitches this year. She's been hit 8 times. Here, this pitch here evens the count at 1-1. Runner on second with Sierra Cosart standing on the back for Minneapolis. Beloit leading 1-0. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Alderson. She'll fall behind now in the count, 1-2.
Yeah, just protect and put it in play somewhere. That's the name of the game at this time. You got a runner in scoring position. You know, if you could try to move her to third, that'd be great with 1 out.
Thompson's pitch. Alderson will make contact, and it will go over to the rodeo arena. Here to our backside. Narrowly missed a couple of youngsters that weren't paying attention. So they'll do 1-2 again. Swing and a miss as Thompson's able to strike out Ashlyn Alderson there. So that'll bring up Miley McClure. McClure on the season, the sophomore, .455. She leads the team with 5 home runs, also leads the Lions with RBIs at 35. And immediately she makes contact on the first pitch, and it's going to drive Beloit all the way back to the fence. This may score a run. It will. They're going to send Cosart home, and McClure wasted no time at the plate, Kevin, as she got into the first pitch and drove it dead away center field at the 200 mark, and another RBI here for Minneapolis and Miley McClure.
And the thing was is today when I did a little research, I remembered that name and all that she was about and what I seen online, and I was still trying to wonder why they're batting her so far down the lineup. So it just tells you how good this lineup really is.
Michaela Doring now, she's up to bat. She's going to pop it up over down the first base line, and Beloit over there. Got the foul ball, but the runner will advance. So McClure will be standing on third with 2 outs. As well welcome senior Ashlyn Roth up. She is the last hitter in the lineup here.
And that's just aggressive base running for Minneapolis there, and it's kind of an error on Beloit's part by, catching that foul ball. It wasn't that deep. It was right about first base and just kind of fell asleep, and they took advantage of it.
Roth watches the first Thompson pitch come in for a strike. Second pitch. High and away. It'll even the count 1-1. If Ashlyn Roth can keep this inning going, we'll hit the reset and go back to the top of the order with Sydney Parks waiting on deck. Here's a little baby contact. Ball rolling down the third base line, and Beloit is going to let the runner on here. They got the ball on a low throw over to first base, but Ella Manning was unable to handle that ball. Would have been a spectacular play on her part as she was already stretched out, but it's going to score a run for Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, number 3, Sydney Parks.
And it doesn't matter how hard you hit it, right? It just put the ball in play, and good things seem to happen.
So a run scores. There as McClure comes home on the fielder's choice. That ended up being a hit. Sydney Parks back up there now. As she watches a couple of pitches whiz by, 1-1 is the count. Again, Parks, you always have to be patient with her at the plate. She leads the team in walks. She's already taken a walk here in her first appearance this game. This is her second plate appearance, as she walked her first time up and got a stolen base.
And what a better trait to have than be able to have walked or, get walked every time you're up to bat, because you're either a leadoff hitter, you want them on base, and usually they're a really good hitter, but if you can add that with a really good eye, that's what everybody looks for at the top of their order.
Thompson has fallen behind in the count here, 3-1. 3-1 pitch, called a strike. Parks was ready to trot down the first base line, but she is called back now to battle off Thompson in a 3-2 count. Count is full, 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the payoff pitch, and she got her again. Same scenario. Parks was getting ready to take first, and she is punched out on the strikeout looking by the umpire. So a couple of runs scored, though, by Minneapolis as they jump ahead in this game. Top of the third we will go here from Ottawa County's Fairgrounds here on Salina Post Sports Network. We'll see Beloit again. It's 2-1 Minneapolis here on Salina Post.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
We spend 1/3 of our lives working to build our wealth. With over 50 years of combined experience, Billings Group wants to be there to help manage yours. If you're planning for retirement or looking for financial coaching, then come see us on Westchester Drive, east of the YMCA, or visit our website at billingsgroup.com. Securities offered by registered representatives through Private Client Services, member FINRA, SIPC. Advisory products and services offered by investment advisory representatives through RFG Advisory, a registered investment advisor. RFG Advisory, Billings Group, and Private Client Services are unaffiliated entities.
This is regional playoff softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
2-1 as we go to the top of the third. Salina Post Network here. Of course, the game of the week brought to you by Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. Also presenting the softball game here today, C&R Metal Finishing Solutions, C&R Plating here in Minneapolis. Pop up on a bunt attempt for Beloit, and Colby Strode is out on the pop up. That'll put Beloit back at the top of the order with Carly Smith. Smith, her first time up, got a single, then stole a base, ended up scoring Beloit's only run of the game so far. First pitch in there, Weatherman low and away. Smith jumps ahead in the count, 1-0. 2-1 our score. Minneapolis leading it here on their home diamond. 1-0 pitch. Smith will smack this one out into right center field. It will drop for a hit. She's rounding first on her horse. She's going to try to get to close play at second. She is in underneath the tag, and Carly Smith now with a 2-bagger. And a runner on for Beloit with 1 out.
And that was just aggressive base running there. I mean, Minneapolis was getting to the ball, but she just never let up and just took 2 bases.
That'll bring up catcher Barkley McMillan. She had a sacrifice bunt her first time up to move Carly Smith over. Weatherman will eye McMillan, fire in. First pitch, it's fouled off down the third base line. Right now, weather-wise, almost a perfect day here in Minneapolis. It's a little overcast, a little bit of a breeze. Dirt is blowing away from the majority of the grandstands, out of play, over towards the left field line. If we could keep this, Kevin, I think we'll be okay.
It'd be all right with me.
As I said, a little bit of sprinklers, a little pop-up shower here happened right before the game, but then it kind of went away and sun came out for the national anthem, and then we got ready to go here on time. Never know this time of year, right?
Yep.
We've been awfully fortunate this week to get all the regional and state softball in that we've been having. Here's a foul ball back to the fence. 1-2 now the count. Weatherman edges ahead with 1 out and a runner on second. Weatherman takes a long look at the coating on her wrist, coach. She'll fire in. This will be a wild pitch. Gets past the catcher, was high and away, and that will advance Carly Smith over to third on a pass ball. So now the runner on third. As Weatherman has to concentrate on the hitter here, this one's going to be high, and it's going to move the count full, 3-2.
Yeah, and you're just so close distance-wise. When that ball comes out of your hand like that and it's sailing, it's tough to get to.
Count still full. Weatherman, whatever she got on her first signal, shook it off. The second one, she kind of shrugged and went, okay, this is going to be fouled off to the right.
And see, you can tell she's given a sign.
Now she's calling her pitch now,
yeah,
isn't she?
She wants something to throw that she feels really comfortable. And she did it the last pitch, and I don't think they've seen it. She was pretty emphatic about this is what I want to throw.
And I don't know who's calling her pitches over in the dugout, but if it is Coach Weatherman, that conversation this morning might have been more like, Dad, I want to throw this pitch a lot.
Yeah.
Here's a ground ball trickling down third. Minneapolis will scoop it up. They'll fire over to Bailey Randall-Hurt and get the out. Beloit will score the run and even the game at 2-2 on the sacrifice. So Barkley McMillan, again, another sacrifice here. This time for an RBI as she is able to score. That'll bring up McKenna Channel for Beloit. We talked about McKenna Channel, she sacrificed her first time up. One of the better hitters in this lineup, .562 on the season, 45 hits, 13 doubles, 4 triples, and 4 home runs for McKenna Channel. She is even right now with Weatherman at 1-1. 2 outs, bases empty. Weatherman's pitch, Channel swings and misses. And Brady Weatherman goes up in the count 1-2.
And early on, I think it's about making adjustments, too. We're getting to that second time through the lineup. Who's going to make a better adjustment at the plate?
There's another swing and a miss, and Weatherman rips her mask off and drops the ball in the circle as she goes to the dugout. We'll see Minneapolis again. Beloit, though, gets a run as they even things up. Middle of the third, it's 2-2 our score. As you listen and watch to more regional softball, it's brought to you by C&R Plating in Minneapolis, right here on Salina Post.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Sage is your go-to source for industrial strength cleaning products, ice melt, floor equipment, paper, asphalt, and just about everything in between. Whether you're a maintenance supervisor, a small business, or just wanting your home to look amazing, stop by 732 North 9th Street in Salina, where we will be happy to assist you. You can also visit us at sageselects.com or call us at 309-1919. Sage Products, the right call every time.
This is regional playoff softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Back here in the Equity Bank broadcast booth at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds. Devin Haney, Kevin Lilly, Travis Godfrey on the camera here on the Salina Post Sports Network. These games brought to you all week long by Equity Bank and also Messenger Total Promotions. If you're looking for logoed swag for your favorite high school or business, see Messenger Total Promotions in downtown Salina. 2-2 our score, 1-1 is the count. Here is Thompson deals for Beloit. That pitch high and away to Brady Weatherman as she comes up on her second plate appearance of the day. Struck out, swinging her first time up. Right now facing a 2-1 count. That one misses off the corner of the plate on the outside. Now 3-1. Weatherman in control here. Thompson's pitch. Weatherman will foul it straight back as that ball climbed the fence, tried to get out of the park, but now it'll fall back in the dirt and be dealt back to Thompson for a full count pitch. Nobody on, nobody out. Weatherman leads off the inning here. In Minneapolis, half of the third. This one low. Weatherman watches it go by, and she will take first base. So a base on balls there for Brady Weatherman, and that'll bring up Keegan Hardesty.
Next up for Minneapolis.
And, you know, for Minneapolis here, you know, some of your big hitters coming up here, I doubt that, you know, Coach is gonna lay down a bunt. I think he's going to allow them to hit the ball.
Hardesty did have a sacrifice liner to the shortstop. Her first time up. She'll show bunt here, and this ball from the catcher over to second got a little bit offline there, and Weatherman is in with a stolen base.
And that's the second time when Minneapolis has stole that, you know, they kind of faked the bunt and it threw the catcher off and it just sailed on her. Every time they get somebody on, you know, you just got to remember stuff like that.
Weatherman leads the team for Minneapolis in stolen bases. That's her 33rd on the year. Now Hardesty with a hard hit ball out to left. Weatherman around third and she'll score. Brady Weatherman salutes Hardesty down the first base line as Minneapolis has regained their lead now at 3-2. Nice piece of hitting there by Keegan Hardesty on the RBI single. That'll bring up cleanup hitter Bailey Randall Hurt. Struck out her first time up.
And that's 2 times now, Devin, that we've seen the defense for Beloit kind of just not be very proactive in getting the ball in, and the aggressiveness of Minneapolis has paid dividends for them.
Runner advanced to second on that pitch that was in the dirt, so Hardesty now on second. Bailey Randall Hurt ahead in the count here, 2-0. Watches this one go by for a strike on the outer half. Count jumps to 2-1. Still nobody out here for Minneapolis. They've already scored a run to take a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the third. Thompson's 2-1 pitch. Called 3-1. As that one for a ball.
And if you're Minneapolis right here in this situation, you're looking for that one pitch to drive. You know, if it's a fastball, just drive it and find a gap.
Swing and a miss here. Puts the count full at 3-2. Runner on second scoring position is Hardesty. Bailey Randall Hurt trying to advance that runner. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside half, and got her looking. She looked at that pitch go by, and the second strikeout of the day for Minneapolis' cleanup hitter. That'll bring up Sierra Cosart. A double, her first time up, scored a run for the Lions.
And part of the adjustment, too, is you got to adjust to the umpires, because that's the second one that, you know, he's kind of rung us up on with that low pitch. So, listen, you got to know a 3-2 count. If it's low, you're probably going to have to go try to fight that off.
Cosart's first pitch, a ball. Thompson all ready for the second delivery here. This one's going to be poked back to short. They look at the leadoff runner, then they come across, and a wild throw over to first will score Hardesty. Cosart will go ahead and advance to second. So Beloit that time, a little too fancy in the field, looked at third, and I'm not sure why, as maybe you can shed more light on that.
I think it's actually the right play there, because I think if they do throw it to third, she's out. The third baseman didn't move to cover. There was no communication there.
Okay.
So then, as the third baseman wasn't there, it kind of made the throw a little wild because her shoulders weren't turned or anything like that.
So Sierra Cosart scores her second run as Ashlyn Alderson that time. Actually, that's Cosart on second, excuse me. She actually scored Keegan Hardesty that time.
And that's why they say, I mean, in the field, communication is just so key. You know, something like this, listen, I'm going to you, be there. Because, I mean, the runner was running right in front of the shortstop with the ball. She would have been out, so
the second run of the inning comes across for Minneapolis as Beloit making really the first mistakes of the day so far here in their defensive half of the third. 4-2 our score. Minneapolis leads it by 2. 1-0 the count. Thompson looking at Ashlyn Alderson, who struck out swinging her first time up. She'll watch a high pitch whiz by here for a second ball. It's 2-0 the count.
You know, sometimes you give up a few runs, you kind of get rattled there. The one thing for Minneapolis is just don't bail them out of this. Get quality at bats.
This one low and inside, now a 3-0 count. Kind of a weird game to start this regional for Minneapolis against Plainville. Their first 6 batters were all hit by pitch. They had 9 total in the game. They really didn't even have to do much to start that game. Just go up, stand with their bat on their shoulder, and get hit.
Yeah.
Take their bag. such a weird game and weird start of that, and then it kind of evened out as the thing went on. Alderson's going to walk after that 3-0 pitch. She took 4 straight pitches and ends up walking. So she'll go to first, 1 out. That brings up Miley McClure, the very dangerous Miley McClure. Had an RBI double, ended up scoring another run for Minneapolis, her first time up at the plate. Swing and a miss there, evens the count at 1-1 with 1 out.
And we've seen that, you know, McClure's got the power. I mean, she drove that last pitch dead away center.
1-1 pitch here. Outside corner, missed. 2-1 now the count.
And if you're Beloit, I don't know that you just set something over the middle of the plate and let her drive it. I think you got to try to get her to chase something. You'd rather put her on than to put one over the fence.
Alderson dancing around there on first. Cosart still on second. And McClure up at the plate with a 3-1 count. Let's see if the Lions give her the green light here. They do not. As she watches a high pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. That'll move the count now full to 3-2. Big pitch here coming up for Samantha Thompson. That one low, and that'll load the bases as Miley McClure takes a base on balls. Michaela Doring up now. She popped up her first time on the season. Michaela has batted in the lower half of the lineup there, but she's been right after Kosar, Alderson, and McClure. First pitch outside, strike. I think the strike zone has expanded to the outside here as this game has moved on.
I do agree with that.
0-1 the count, 1 out, bases loaded. A vicious swing that time by Michaela Doring, and that'll move the count now 0-2. If Doring can keep this going, we'll see Ashlyn Roth, who is the 9-hole hitter. Samantha Thompson, high and away. Had a pitch to waste there, and she figured she's gotten a couple of those calls. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Test that strike zone is in again, see how far you can stretch it.
Yeah, and you just wonder sometimes if you can get one of those batters just to chase one and give you an out there.
This one down the middle, fouled straight back. And the count remains 1-2 as Samantha Thompson dealing to Michaela Doring. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside half again. This one, a ball. 2-2.
One swing in the bat here, you find a gap here and you might clear all three, you know, and really open this game wide open.
Here's one on the outside half, and that one's called a strike. If you can figure it out, let me know, but I am not assuming the balls and strikes here at all. So a strikeout there for Michaela Doring, and Ashlyn Roth is up to bat. She reached safe at first on a fielder's choice her first time up.
And for some of these batters, it's not, it's not a strike. And even if it's a 3-2 count, it wasn't even close to try to foul that off. And that's the frustrating thing as a hitter. You want to hit the ball. A lot of these girls aren't looking to get walks. They'll go up and take their hacks, and that's the frustrating part of it.
Count 1-1 now. Bases still loaded here for Minneapolis. They lead it 4-2. There's another pitch, outside half, and a strike called. That'll put the count at 1-2. Roth up there with the bases loaded, 2 out. She's the 9-hole hitter. If she can keep this party going, Sydney Parks will be up. This one way outside. That'll even the count 2-2. 4-2 our score. Minneapolis bases loaded as they lead it by 2 runs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Ashlyn Roth. That one high and away. Full count with 2 outs. See if Roth can be a producer here from Minneapolis. Here's the pitch, and she's going to line it over the shortstop's head. That'll score 1. Around third they go. Here comes Minneapolis. They're going to score 2, and they will have 2 runs come to the plate as it is Kosar and Alderson, and Ashlyn Roth, the 9-hole hitter, keeps it going, and a 6-2 lead.
What a great piece of hitting there. I mean, takes the count all the way 3-2, 2 outs, stays simple, ball over the plate. She just drives it. It couldn't have been an inch over the glove. I mean, that's how close it was. Great piece of hitting for the girls.
So an RBI, scored 2 runs, 2 RBIs there for Ashlyn Roth, and we'll reset the lineup, go back to Sydney Parks, who, as I've said before, leads the team in walks, and the first base bag is open. Runners on second, third here for Minneapolis as the Lions now up 6-2.
Well, and I don't think you want to necessarily put anybody on.
Nope.
I mean, because you're going to have to deal with Weatherman and Hardesty and Hurt. I mean, it doesn't get any easier for you.
You look at the on-deck circle, and there's Brady Weatherman, and you don't want to lose Sydney Parks right now with a 1-1 count. Bring Weatherman up, a chance to help herself with the bases loaded, but first it's Parks and Thompson. As Thompson comes to the plate with a 1-1 pitch, called ball outside. It's now 2-1. Still 2 outs here as Minneapolis is able to keep the inning alive with Ashlyn Roth, and her RBI double has scored 2 runs.
And with the way Weatherman's been throwing here, I don't think Beloit can afford to give up any more runs. They've got to try to keep this as close as they can.
Totally agree with that. 2-1 now the count. Parks digs in, watches another ball. This one on the inside, and it's a 3-2 count. They put a strike up on the scoreboard. It was actually a ball. It was a 3-1 count previous to that pitch. So Parks will take a base on balls, her second one of the day. So 2 walks for Sydney Parks. And here's the situation we talked about, Kev, with Brady Weatherman coming to the plate, bases loaded, 2 outs. Weatherman watches the first pitch cruise by. She jumps ahead in the count.
And the thing, the advantage is with Weatherman. For Beloit, they have to throw strikes here. They have no. I mean, you don't want to walk a run in. So I mean, they're going to give her something to hit here.
Now ahead in the count, 2-0. Weatherman a .603 batting average, 33 stolen bases now. She has 1 in this game. She has 13 doubles and 3 triples. 2-0 pitch. She'll foul this one straight back as the count goes to 2-1. 6-2, Minneapolis, as they have scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd.
And that's what's got to scare you if you're a Beloit coaching staff right now. I mean, we have to get out of this because, I mean, one crack at the bat, and this thing is really...
Here's a hard hit ball to right field. The right fielder underneath it, and they'll put it away. And Beloit takes a deep breath as they get out of the inning. But Minneapolis posts 4 runs as we go to the top of the 4th. It's Beloit and Minneapolis for the right to go to state, and it's presented by C&R Plating in Minneapolis.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Hey Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
I've always believed in love stories that last forever. At Vernon Jewelers, we've been crafting these stories for 141 years. Each piece is a chapter in a journey, a testament to timeless romance. Whether it's an engagement ring or a cherished anniversary gift, we create memories that sparkle. Look for that iconic sign and discover our collection and personalized customer service in our 141st year. We're not old, just really good at what we do. Vernon Jewelers in downtown Salina, because love deserves that perfect setting.
This is regional playoff softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Welcome back here to Minneapolis. The Lions leading the Beloit Trojans 6-2 here for the right to go to state. Devin Haney along with Kevin Lilly here in the Equity Bank broadcast booth. I want to remind you that Salina Septic Service is now Lily Pad Septic and portable restrooms. See what's changed and what services they provide now with their social media on Instagram and Facebook. Lily Pad Septic and portable restrooms. Also, C&R Plating, a proud presenter of this game between Beloit and Minneapolis. Weatherman up high across the top of the helmet there of Kaylin Follis, who steps in for the second time in this game. Kaylin went down swinging and struck out her first time up. 6-2 our score. Minneapolis here in the top of the 4th.
And I think if you're Minneapolis, you just got to stay aggressive and do what you've been doing here.
Another high pitch over the head of Follis.
And Weatherman, you know, voicing something to the dugout, my bad, my bad. And you just hope that that's not that pitch that she was really wanting to throw, because the last 2 were the same and they weren't very good.
Center fielder for Beloit, Kaylin Follis, in a 2-0 count. She's going to take a Ming hack at this one, get the lower third of the ball, and it's going to go off the glove of the catcher, Michaela Doring, for Minneapolis. And the count now 2-1.
And for me, early in the game, I like to be aggressive. But in that situation there, I want Weatherman to have to throw me a strike. She's missed badly on 2 pitches. I've got to see more pitches so I feel a little more comfortable, you know, taking this at bat and driving a ball.
Missed on that one as well. Now 3-1 the count. And the next pitch is also a ball. So the leadoff hitter, Kaylin Follis, is on for Beloit. As we now go to the 5-hole hitter and the pitcher for Beloit, Samantha Thompson. First time up, Thompson popped up to first base. A sophomore batting .321 this season. Pitch outside for a strike. Weatherman jumps ahead in the count. This one's going to be popped straight up down the third base line and put away there by Minneapolis. Alderson stepped off the bag and took 5 steps to her right to put that one away. And a pop-up for Thompson. So Jaden Follis, second baseman for Beloit, up to bat. She struck out swinging her first time up. One on, one out. Weatherman turns her attention now to Jaden Follis. First pitch for a ball. Valley Center beat Salina Central today in area baseball, 5-2. So the Mustangs see their baseball season come to an end. Here's a pop-up to shortstop, retreating and putting it away are the Lions. Now a quick throw over to first, and they got the runner as well. What a play on the infield by Minneapolis as they turn a double play to get out of their portion of the 4th inning. What a play that was for Minneapolis at snapping the throw over. Miley McClure, she put that pop-up away and totally went over to first just in a knee-jerk reaction and caught the runner sleeping for Beloit. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Minneapolis will be up to bat here in the bottom of the 4th. They lead it 6-2 on Salina Post Sports.
Are you ready to make a meaningful impact? Join the professional healthcare team at Salina Regional Health Center. They're seeking nurse assistants who are eager to provide exceptional care to our community. Their growing organization offers competitive pay, comprehensive benefits, and tuition reimbursement. If you're ready to join a team that values compassion, teamwork, and outstanding patient care, apply now at srhc.com or reach out to Human Resources. Great careers start here. Salina Regional Health Center. They take care of you so you can care for others.
This is Regional Playoff Softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Regional softball here between Beloit and Minneapolis, presented by C&R Plating here in Minneapolis today. I want to thank them for jumping on board and making sure we cover all our costs and all our fees and making sure we can have this softball game on the air. Travis Godfrey on camera, Devin Haney, also Kevin Lilly here in the Equity Bank broadcast booth. 6-2 Minneapolis. As they come to the plate, Miley McClure. What a defensive play that was, Kevin, to get Minneapolis out of their defensive part of the 4th.
Yeah, just very heads up on her part to, track that ball and then just gun it right to first base and double her up. But on the other side, it's just you fell asleep for Beloit. As the game goes on, it gets tighter and tighter with being down. You start making some mental errors.
And a hit to center field for the leadoff hitter for the Minneapolis Lions. Kagan Hardesty.
Next for Minneapolis, number 16, Bailey Randall.
That'll bring up Bailey Randall Hurt, who's had tough luck at the plate. Swung strikeout on the first plate appearance. Thought she was still going to be alive on her second plate appearance, but got called out looking. So Hardesty at first, the leadoff hitter. Bailey Randall Hurt a chance to advance her around here. The sophomore up to bat. This one fouled straight back as she fights that one off now.
And that was a swing, Devin, that, if she makes contact out front, and it's going to be parked over the 200 sign there.
This one on that outside portion of the plate that is being called a strike. Puts Bailey down in the count 1-2. This one outside evens the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch. This one, a rocket between third and short, and Bailey Randall Hurt will advance the runner, Kagan Hardesty, to second. That ball had some juice behind it.
Yeah, it did.
That'll bring up Sierra Cosart, who's having a really good day. A double, ended up scoring a run in her first at bat, had a single in her second at bat, and scored. Another baseball update for you on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Salina South baseball tied it at 5-5 to force the bottom of the 7th, but Hayes walked it off on a single to win that game 6-5. So South and Central both ending their baseball seasons today. So did Sacred Heart. Southeast of Salina ended last Friday. 2-0 pitch, low, now a 3-0 count to Sierra Cosart. So really just scanning my brain here real quick, I think the only team in our immediate coverage area that is going to stay in baseball will be the Abilene Cowboys, who's there for the 4th consecutive year.
Yeah. Well, and I would love to see all those teams be playing on because I have vested interest in every one of them.
Yeah.
But I also know that now we can get on to summer ball.
The NCKL is a wild place in baseball this year. Holy cow.
Yeah.
You're talking about almost half of their conference maybe making a state tournament. As Rock Creek, Clay Center, Abilene all qualified yesterday, they still had, with a chance, Wamego and Marysville to qualify.
I mean, it's like playing a league game at the state tournament.
But here's the wild thing. Clay Center, Abilene, Wamego, and Rock Creek would all be at the 4A tournament in Salina. It's half the field.
Yeah.
Of course, Marysville, the only 3A team in baseball in that NCKL league, but man, what a wild thing that is. And I've seen arguments too online about splitting the leagues up and letting them kind of go to different regionals, because sometimes you have leagues like that are just, you got to step back and go, wow, and then they eliminate themselves in a sub-state or a regional situation.
One thing that I've, through baseball season and stuff, I don't know what the fix is, but some of these regionals that they're putting together are of not very good quality teams, and all of them just, and I get they come out so early with the regionals. I don't know if that could wait just a little bit to where then we can have more quality baseball, and I don't understand why some teams have to travel so far when there's a regional right in their backyard. That's one thing I just don't understand.
Ashlyn Alderson up there with a chance to bust this one open, and she is battling with Samantha Thompson. Bases loaded. She has a 2-2 count with no outs, as those bases are loaded up with Lions. It's Hardesty at third, Bailey Randall Hurt at second, Alderson at first. Cosart at first. Alderson just went down swinging. So one out now as we go to the bottom of the order, but before we do that, it's the 7-hole hitter. As you said, weird placement, but it's worked out for Minneapolis today. Miley McClure had a home run against Smoky Valley in the last game for Minneapolis. She's been very productive here today with a double, which was an RBI. She also scored a run and also had a base on balls and a web gem of a defensive play in the field. 1-1 the count, one out. Bases are occupied, all three of them. McClure and Thompson. McClure's going to poke it to center field. That one's going to go to deep center field, and it's gone. Speaking of home run, we got a grand slam. Miley McClure just emptied the bases on a one-out grand slam in the bottom of the 4th. Minneapolis with a 10-2 lead.
I'm telling you, Devin, I don't think I've ever seen a 7-hole hitter with the stats that she's had this year, the home run power, the RBIs, just everything that she can do. I was surprised that that's where she was in the lineup, and maybe there's been some struggles of late and coaches kind of moved some stuff around, but whatever he did there, it's really been working.
I mean, and give all the credit in the world to Brian Weatherman and his coaching staff, and sometimes you get that right. You look at a lineup and you go, okay, solid here, maybe 2, 3, 4, for example, but we're having trouble here in the bottom of the lineup. We're wasting innings sometimes. Let's put our best hitter there.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, hitting is contagious, and you put her back there with the 7, 8, and 9 as a quick one-pitch line out to Michaela Doring. And maybe that, with the way that McClure plays at the plate and her hitting ability now is contagious to people like Doring or to Ashlyn Roth, who kept the inning alive with an RBI double with the bases loaded and 2 outs last inning.
And it says a lot about McClure that, she's willing to potentially do something like that and fill that role for the team.
Man, there are a lot of good sophomores playing softball around the state, and she is one. 1-0 the count here to Ashlyn Roth.
And don't forget that first hit went off the fence.
Yep.
I mean, that's how close the first one was to going over.
Yep, absolutely. That one just a shade to the right, maybe 2 steps of the dead center 200 mark. That has put Minneapolis up here 10-2. 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. 2 outs, nobody on after McClure emptied the bases with her grand slam. Here's the 1-2. This one going to be lined back. It's a roller to the shortstop. They'll pick it up and they'll throw it in the dirt. And Ashlyn Roth has reached again. So a fielding error there for Beloit will turn the lineup over, and we'll get to see the queen of walks once again for Minneapolis and Sydney Parks. 2 walks today. She leads the team. 32 now base on balls for the season. As in that trend, she takes first pitch. That's, though, going to be called a strike. Pitch inside. Roth dancing on first. Now she goes back as the first baseman comes over to hold her, and that evens the count at 1-1.
And for me, I'm a baseball guy. I do a lot of softball. I want her to throw the ball to first base.
Yeah,
I
right.
want her to go try to pick. I want her to be aggressive in this situation and try to go get her.
Here's a slow roller, and it's going to be a challenge again for Beloit, but they're going to pick it up, and Sydney Parks will line out, actually ground out to the shortstop. And that'll end the inning. 10-2 now, our score, as Minneapolis picks up 4 more runs, and they lead it. Here as we go to the top of the 5th, it is softball here, regional style, on the Salina Post network of stations.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Regional Playoff Softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Top of the 5th we go. Devin Haney, Kevin Lindley here as you watch regional baseball. It's a championship game and the right to go to the state tournament in Topeka. 3A softball this year. Minneapolis leading 10-2 after a grand slam in the 4th inning by Minneapolis and Miley McClure. Weatherman jumps ahead in the count, 1-0, but here's a hit out to the right fielder, and it's going to be gloved but then dropped, going to the ground. Great effort that time by Sierra Cosart, charging in after that ball. It's going to put the Beloit runner on first here to lead off. And that is Ella Manning with that right field hit. So Allie Bourbon will come up, her first time up to bat. She was struck out looking. First pitch fouled straight back. So just the second time to the plate for Beloit. That tells you right there what kind of day Brady Weatherman has had.
And the thing is with Weatherman, sometimes when you sit in long innings, it kind of affects you a little bit as well. I think that's maybe what happened in the last inning. We'll see about this inning.
She's got an 8-run cushion right now she can work with and fires the first 2 pitches in there to Allie Bourbon for strikes. Weatherman ahead 0-2.
And the thing is you just let your defense work at this point, right? You know, work your corners like you have been, and right there just sits her down with that outside pitch.
3 pitches and a strikeout. It's the second strikeout looking for Allie Bourbon here today.
Carly Smith on deck, Barkley McMillan in the hole. 1 out.
Colby Strode up to bat. She popped up a bunt her first time up. Showing bunt again. She's going to pull it back. As Beloit has a runner on first. Dancing over there, it's Ella Manning. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, 1 runner on. 10-2. Minneapolis with a big explosion there in the bottom of the 4th. Really, the 4th inning was good for Minneapolis all the way around. They had that really great defensive double play to get out of the inning defensively. Then they come up and load the bases up and get a grand slam.
That's how everybody draws it up, right?
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Just load the bases, and whoever's up, just, you know, your 7-hole hitter, you just knock it out of the park for
Just
us.
get a bunch of double plays and we'll hit a grand slam. 1-2 the count here to Strode. This pitch on the outside half of the plate. Looking down there, peering down the baseline. It's Michaela Doring behind the plate. Watching the runner for Beloit. 2-2 pitch. This one swung on a miss. 10-A strikeout for Beloit's second out of the inning. We'll go back to the top of the order now. Third baseman Carly Smith up to bat. Carly's had a good day so far. Had a single, stole a base, ended up scoring a run in the first inning. Then she had a single. She ended up reaching, or excuse me, a double. She ended up reaching third on a pass ball, but did not score. She was stranded. First pitch from Weatherman is a ball.
And you can just tell Weatherman is just locked in. Her rhythm, you know, in the circle is just really, really good.
This one outside half, evens the count at 1-1. 2 outs, a runner on. Here in Beloit's half, it's the top of the 5th. This one bounces in front of the plate, but Doring doing a really good job providing a backstop there. Slid over, stuck her chest protector out in front of it, and kept the ball in front. 2-1 now the count. Here's that 2-1 pitch. It's going to be lined right by McClure. That thing kind of happened in slow motion like the Matrix, and Beloit is going to advance the runners over here to third as Carly Smith has a double.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she just lost it or that ball, you know, the ball just tailed away from her and just misjudged it.
Thing looked like it had a tail on it, didn't it? Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. These girls play so close to the action and so close to the bat that, you know, things like that happen.
Barkley McMillan, the catcher for Beloit, is up. She had a sacrifice bunt her first time up. Then a sacrifice RBI her second time up. First pitch fouled back for a strike. Second one also fouled down the first base line. As Weatherman gets ahead in the count here with Barkley McMillan 0-2 with 2 outs. Runners on second and third for Beloit. They need to score these runs here in the top of the 5th. Starts to sprinkle just a little bit.
Enough to, what do they say, calm the dust?
Yeah. Or get us new laptops, one of the two.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But if you're Beloit in this situation, I mean, you really need these 2 runs. Or I mean, it's some sort of a base hit here. Put it in play.
1-2 pitch. High and away. That'll even the count, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on for Beloit. Top of the 5th. Minneapolis leading here 10-2. Weatherman comes back to the plate quickly. This one grounded to third, and it's going to be trouble over there for the third baseman, and they cannot get this play at first. That'll score 2 runs for Beloit as Minneapolis mishandled that ground ball. It's a hot shot to the hot corner over here, and Beloit is going to score 2. That'll keep the inning going here for the Trojans. Barkley McMillan there on the hot shot. So her single scores 2 runs. And we'll go back to McKenna Channel. Also have a pinch runner here into the game for Beloit. That will be freshman Jara Salin Ortiz. Right now it is 2 of the best players on the diamond today, Weatherman and McKenna Channel, going head-to-head. Weatherman high and inside. That one's going to be called a ball. 1-0 is the count. Weatherman's 1-0 pitch. Outside. Count goes to 2-0.
And Weatherman just got to take a deep breath and just keep firing.
This one right down the middle. It's going to be popped up. Bailey Randall Hurt giving chase, and she's going to dive. And could she hang on? She could not.
Man, it was in her glove. She must have lost it when she fell, because it was. I had it, and then I lost. You know, the blue buildings in our way, but
yeah.
I mean, that was a great effort by her.
Yeah, I lost visual of it from there. The Minneapolis crowd cheered, but then I saw McKenna Channel coming back to the plate for a 2-1 pitch. This one high across the chin, and it moves the count to 3-1. Runner on here for Beloit. They trail 10-4. Weatherman's 3-1 pitch. Outside, she walked her. So McKenna Channel takes a base on balls. And that will give us Kaylin Follis in the lineup.
Number 11, Kaylin Follis. Samantha Thompson on deck. Jaden Follis in the hole, 2 outs.
This one fouled straight back. And Weatherman goes ahead in the count, 0-1 against Kaylin Follis. Doring and Weatherman now get together halfway between the circle and the home plate. Top of the 5th here, 2 outs. A little bit of a rally here for the Beloit Lady Trojans. Weatherman's 0-1 pitch. This one hit high to right field, and it's going to be chased down and caught. Nice job there. Chasing down that softball that was airborne out there by Sierra Cosart, and that will end the inning. But Beloit gets 2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 10-5. Minneapolis leading as they come up to bat in the bottom of the 5th. After this, here on Salina Post.
When does normal become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of 2 types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialists will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
From raw honey to wax melts to beekeeping tools, boxes, and frames, AJ Honey Farms has it all and more. Be sure to check out their salves. Salves is a powerful blend of nature's best ingredients. Beeswax, crafted with care to soothe and nourish your dry skin, minor cuts, and burns. And for dry lips, try out their Happy Bee Balm. Treat yourself to their locally produced honey items or get a beautifully packaged gift set for a loved one. Stop in to see AJ Honey Farms at 901 North 9th Street. More than just a honey store.
This is Regional Playoff Softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Minneapolis softball here at home as they play the Beloit Lady Trojans, brought to you by C&R Plating. If you're looking for a new career or maybe jumping into the workforce, you deserve a look at C&R Plating. In business here in Minneapolis for over 30 years. Jump online with C&R Plating, and see what they have to offer you. 10-4 our score. Minneapolis with the lead here, bottom of the 5th as the Lions come up to bat. They will start their leadoff hitter with Brady Weatherman. She watches the second pitch go by for a strike, and Thompson jumps ahead in the count for Beloit, 0-2. 0-2 pitch, way high and outside, had a pitch to waste there. Thompson now looks over her dugout. She has not done a lot of stuff in between pitches. She's a quick worker. Weatherman, however, takes her time as she laces one high to center field, but over there to make the catch will be the Beloit Trojan center fielder, and that will be a leadoff out for Minneapolis. Sprinkles getting heavier here at the ballpark as Keegan Hardesty comes up. The freshman. Step to the plate here.
Minneapolis, number 13, Keegan Hardesty. Bailey Randall Hurt on deck. Sierra Cosart in the hole, 1 out.
First pitch for a ball. Here's a hard hit ball to right field, and Beloit there camped underneath that one as well. Just seems like here in this 5th inning, Kevin, Beloit's in the right place at the right time with these pop-outs.
Yeah, the rain comes in and they're in the right spots.
Bailey Randall-Hurt. Sierra Cozart on deck. Ashlyn Alderson in the hole. 2 out.
(10-4) our score. One of those great Kansas situations where it is now raining and the sun is shining. Perfect.
You know, I poured concrete one time and it did this.
Yeah.
Right after I got done pouring concrete in the driveway.
Swing and a miss for Bailey Randall-Hurt. That'll even the count here with 2 outs at 1-1. (10-4) our score. Thompson comes to the plate with a 1-1 pitch. This one bounces in the dirt, and that'll put Bailey Randall-Hurt up on first base after getting hit by a pitch. That's our first one of the game. So that'll keep the inning going here for Minneapolis.
In the hole. 2 out.
This pitch goes all the way to the backstop. You could hear it maybe carom off the wood, the lower portion of the fence here. Bailey Randall-Hurt will take second. Trying to keep stats underneath this towel here like I'm hiding something from everyone. (10-4) our score. 2 balls, no strikes. Sierra Cozart up to bat. Just looked at ball 3. So a hitter's count here for Cozart. Fans continue to deliberate in their minds whether they want to go to the cars or not. Pitch in, right at the knees for a strike. Count at 3-1.
Life decisions.
That's right.
Never
want to be the first one to be that guy, right?
Yeah, and I think everybody's waiting.
That's right. 3-2 pitch here fouled off. 2 outs. Bailey Randall-Hurt on second for Minneapolis. And not that we're going to lose the field here, but the longer it keeps this up, the more tacky this dirt infield will become. As you see already, Bailey Randall-Hurt kind of popping her shoes off the bag there at second, trying to keep them clean. So we have a full count here with 2 outs. Sierra Cozart, 3-2 pitch. She'll line it over to third. Cleaned it safely there by Beloit and put away by the Lady Trojans. So to the bottom of the 5th we will advance now as a 10-4 score. Minneapolis still leading it here on Salina Post.
5 innings. Minneapolis 10, Beloit 4.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of 2 types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialists will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
This is regional playoff softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Minneapolis leads Beloit here in the top of the 6th. 10-4 is our score back in the Equity Bank broadcast booth where it is raining in Minneapolis. There's a rainbow though, so if you're into that kind of thing, it's comforting. These games presented today by CNR Plating. Weatherman's first pitch of the 6th inning is a ball as she works with a 6-run lead. Stat sheets now have been pronounced dead.
Yeah. And the thing is for Minneapolis here, the disadvantage you have with this rain is ground balls. Ground balls that are hit, it's going to get real tacky. The ball's still a little bit slippery. Pitching wise, same thing.
10-4. Count is 2-1. Weatherman's 2-1 pitch. It's going to be popped straight up. That is a sky ball. Bailey Randall Hurt coming in from first, and she will put it away.
Up next, Beloit.
That last batter for Beloit
Manning on deck. Allie Gordon in the hole.
with Samantha Thompson. Jaden Follis coming up now for the Trojans. Weatherman still in the circle here for Minneapolis, trying to get the Lions to state for just the 2nd time in school history. Their only other trip was in 2014. First pitch for a ball. Second pitch going to be wrapped around. It's going to be fouled off out in the grass down the left field line. Jaden Follis got around on that as the senior. Battling in there, trying to get something going for her Beloit Lady Trojans here in the top of the 6th. One the count. 1 out. Base is empty here for Beloit. Follis watches the pitch go across the kneecaps for a strike, and Weatherman moves ahead in the count, 1-2. Weatherman's 1-2 pitch. This one's going to be popped up in a bad spot out there. It's the Bermuda Triangle, and that one's going to fall, but Follis also down as she went to come across first base and fell down as she was rounding the base that time. So she will remain at first as she tripped up there trying to round the bag. Now we'll bring up Ella Manning for Beloit. Weatherman looking for a dry softball. She also has a towel hanging out of her back right pocket. And now head coach Brian Weatherman will take a trip to the circle here. A chance to remind you that this softball game brought to you by the Shelter Insurance Agency of Kelly Kitchener. Stop by, see Kelly, see what he can do for you. Free insurance estimates. He'll evaluate everything that you need. Auto, home, life, business. Loves doing those overall evaluations, see if he can save you any money. If not, he'll shake your hand and say thanks for coming by, and that's about all it takes. Kelly Kitchener Agency there, just off of Cloud and Ohio in Salina. 10-4 the score. Beloit has a runner on, 1 out. And Manning up for Beloit. First pitch by Weatherman is a strike. Second pitch also a strike as Brady Weatherman jumps ahead in the count, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's going to be poked to right field, and it's going to be right at Cosart. Cosart now tries to double up the runner, and they get her. Another great defensive play that ends the inning for Minneapolis, as this time it comes from right field in Sierra Cosart, who took the pop fly and then fired it back into Bailey Randall Hurt for the double play. Heads up defense there by the Lions of Minneapolis as they're able to get out of the inning, and we will go now to their half. It's the bottom of the 6th coming up here from Minneapolis on Salina Post.
I'm Brian Arms, your mortgage loan originator at Equity Bank here in Salina, Kansas. I'm a lifelong Salina resident here to tell you our bank can offer you mortgage and refinance options with terms designed for you. Why leave our community when you can choose the bank that never forgets it's your money? With 2 locations in town on Ohio Street and Santa Fe Avenue, there's no better time to apply online, in person, or over the phone. Learn more at equitybank.com, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Close your eyes. Now, imagine yourself cheering from the bleachers at Salina South. Feel the pride of donning the colors of Salina Central. Picture the spirit of being part of the Sacred Heart community, or the camaraderie at southeast of Saline. Envision the thrill of supporting El Saline or Bennington. Visualize the unity in rallying for Minneapolis High. Now, open your eyes and see yourself in team apparel from Messenger Total Promotions. Visit them in person in downtown Salina. This is Regional Playoff Softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
Back here in Minneapolis, first pitch of the inning is fouled straight back.
Leading out the bottom of the 6th,
as
Minneapolis.
Samantha Thompson back in there for Beloit, trying to get levels adjusted here. Glad you're sticking with us here. Of course, we're getting wet. You're not, so you're welcome. Here's another one. Alderson fouling a ball off down the first baseline. You and I were just talking during break. Southeast of Saline played a state game. I want to say it was 3, maybe 4 years ago. First round game at Twin Oaks in Manhattan. And, of course, everything over there is artificial turf. And as long as it's not lightning, you're going to go ahead and play. There were times I'm sitting right behind home plate broadcasting. I could not see the pitcher, is how heavy that rain was. We're not quite that bad here, so I'm pretty happy. Here's one that pops off the wall by Alderson. She's going to go ahead. She's going to round second and be aggressive. She's going to slide into third, but she's punched out. Boy, could not get in there. Ambitious base running by Minneapolis, and Ashlyn Alderson's hit that went all the way to the fence goes for naught, as what could have been a leadoff double ends up being a throw out at third.
Next up for Minneapolis, number 8,
Yeah, and that's a tough one because in that situation there, you know who you've got coming up to bat.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that could potentially, double the home run and get you in, with a base hit.
Wow, what a great piece of hitting that was. Here's a ground ball now to short and a rocket across the diamond that will throw out Miley McClure for the first time in this game. So 2 quick outs here, maybe unexpected outs for Beloit, especially after that first hit by Alderson went all the way to the fence. But then she got thrown out at third on that play. So 2 quick outs here for Minneapolis. And they have 2 outs. And the first pitch from Thompson in there to Michaela Doring, the catcher. 10-4 the score, 6th inning. It was a big 4th inning for Minneapolis, where they were able to get a grand slam from McClure that cleared the bases. Thompson back to home plate. This one's going to be popped up out the right field, and Beloit ends up facing 3 and getting 3 out for the Minneapolis Lions. So a little bit of a bullet dodge there by the Beloit defense as they put away the Lions. 1, 2, 3. Back with more softball. It's the top of the 7th. See what Beloit can do when we come back here on Salina Post Sports.
Your next visit to the doctor for an upcoming procedure or surgery should start with a conversation about Salina Surgical Hospital. Hi, this is Geraldine Diedrich, and we are truly committed to fostering your health and well-being. From outpatient procedures to inpatient stays, you will feel the difference in our excellent care and compassion. Talk to your doctor about scheduling your next procedure at Salina Surgical Hospital. Your surgical experience is our specialty. Salina Surgical Hospital is partially owned by a group of local, community-involved physicians.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Regional Playoff Softball on Salina Post Sports Network.
We are here today covering regional softball and a chance to go to the state tournament, thanks in part to C&R Plating, the presenting sponsor of today's broadcast and the video here on salinapost.com. It's been a busy, busy week. We're going to see how many miles Tyler Henry can get under his belt out in Hayes today covering Sacred Heart baseball. He's going to go ahead and venture to the east and to the south tomorrow as he will go to Osage City to cover southeast of Salina and Silver Lake softball. We'll have that game live streamed for you here on Salina Post Sports with him and Brian Dennett going to Osage City to cover the Lady Trojans and their chance to go to the state tournament in Class 3A tomorrow. Here it's the top of the 7th. 10-4 is our score. Minneapolis leading. Brady Weatherman still in the circles. Her first pitch is a strike.
You know, one thing I've noticed baseball to softball here is a lot of times when a catcher in baseball doesn't catch a pitch, even if it's a strike, it doesn't get called. But here in softball today, what I'm seeing is it doesn't matter. If it's a strike, it's a strike.
There's a ground ball back past Weatherman. It's going to be scooped up by McClure, and she's going to throw out a great play over there at first by Bailey Randall Hurt, who was able to kind of stretch it out and put her glove down in the dirt and scoop that one up to get the leadoff runner. That's key, right? Here, Beloit, they need to do something. Top of the 7th, down by 6. Get the leadoff runner now. They're feeling a little bit in dire straits.
Yeah.
Here's a pop-up bunt. Weatherman comes in and gets it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here to the hitter for Beloit. And now 2 outs in the inning. And the last gasp effort for Beloit will be leadoff hitter Carly Smith.
And Weatherman's just kind of done it all for her club today. I mean, she's fielded her position. She's thrown just so well and kept the softball around the zone and allowed her defense to work and gotten some key Ks, sit-downs, strikeouts.
Weatherman's first pitch to Smith. Called ball. 1-0 the count. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 7th here. 10-4 Minneapolis. There's a ball right down the pipe, no doubt there, and it evens the count at 1-1.
Might put you on the spot here. Yep. You know the last time Minneapolis softball did go to state?
They've been to state one time in school history. That was in 2014. Here's a ground ball over to McClure, and she will throw it over to first, and Bailey Randall Hurt collects the last out of the day. 10-4, Minneapolis defends their home field. They complete the season sweep of their NCAA foe Beloit, and they also punch their ticket to the 3A state tournament in Topeka. The student body comes running in, but they are wound up very quickly as Minneapolis will go through and they will shake hands with their opponents from Beloit, both of them from the NCAA. And Minneapolis under a second-year head coach in Brian Weatherman and his ace on the mound in Brady Weatherman able to get things done. But behind the plate today, the story was McClure. A grand slam hit by Miley McClure in the 4th inning really broke this game open and gave Minneapolis a lead that they would not relinquish. Also, 2 tricky double plays to end 2 different innings in the field. 1 to McClure at short, 1 to Kosar in right field. Both of them throwing back, catching a runner off of first. And you look at this game here today, Kevin, Minneapolis did everything right. 2 times in this game, it was raining. Then the other times, it was sunny. The conditions were not consistent. They weren't great. But a great day for softball here in Minneapolis as the Lady Lions are going to state.
And the biggest thing to me is Minneapolis did all the little things correct, right? Whether it's base running, whether it's catching, whether it's defense, they did everything correct today. Whereas I think that's why Beloit fell a little short, because in big games like this, and it's a win or go home type situation, you've got to make all those plays. 1 or 2 plays can cost you, 3 or 4 runs, and that's what ends up happening.
If you host any kind of postseason play, one of your greatest honors as the host athletic director is handing your team, the kids that you know the best, a championship trophy. That's what Ryan Mortimer was just able to do here as he gives Brian Weatherman and his Lady Lions a trophy for regional championship. That is also the golden ticket to go to the state tournament in Topeka in Class 3A. That tournament will start on Thursday of next week. Be played, of course, weather pending, on Thursday and Friday of next week. For just the second time in school history, the Lady Lions of Minneapolis will go play for a state title in the Class 3A softball tournament. It's their second trip back to state. The first one came back in 2014. Thank you for joining us for Minneapolis and Beloit softball. This regional championship brought to you by Messenger Total Promotions, also Equity Bank, and our presenting sponsor, C&R Plating of Minneapolis. For Travis Godfrey, also Kevin Lilly, my name's Devin Haney saying thank you for joining us. We have more action coming your way tomorrow here on SalinaPost.com as we will feature the Silver Lake Eagles and the Southeast Upsaline Lady Trojans. They will play for a right to go to the state tournament as well. That game here tomorrow on SalinaPost.com. Have a great